Hello students, welcome to Math 232 Statistics Online. I'm Diane Van Dusen, your professor. Hello students, welcome to Math 232 Online. I'm Diane Van Dusen, your professor, and I'm here to orient you to the class, both online component and what you'll be using for the course materials, your syllabus, etc., etc. Okay, so let's start by talking about the syllabus. You'll need to keep track of two different websites online. Both my website, which will hold a lot of your assignments, keys to the exams, supplementary materials, etc., and then the My Math Lab site, which is the online site that holds our actual class. As I mentioned in my emails, I do not use Blackboard. Okay? All right, so let's start. Here's the syllabus. Okay, so let's talk through the syllabus. That's me, your instructor. My phone number goes right to my desk. My email address, I check it all the time. My office location, if you're on campus, come see me, come say hi. I am in 1031S, which is in the 1000 building. It's above the Administration of Justice and in back of the 800 building. If you walk into the 1000 building, make a left, go right around the corner, and I'm like the third doorway on your left. So come say hi. There's a fax number. It goes to the secretary, which is, or who is, right outside my office. If you fax in, say, one of your lab assignments or something like that, make sure and just let them know to pop it in my mailbox, okay? My web page. All right, let's take a look at how to get there. This is the easiest way, if you haven't found it yet, at any rate. Okay, my advice is first go to the Napa Valley College website, and the employee directory is up in the upper right-hand corner. You want to click employee directory. And then our web page moves so slow. It's like go have lunch, take a nap, maybe have your nails done. And when you come back somewhere along the line, oh, and I'm on a Mac. I keep forgetting I have to double click, so forgive me if there's lag time here. Like I said, take a nap, go have lunch. Okay, and then you get into the alphabet, then click on V. Go do the dishes, mow the lawn, go to the grocery store, walk your dog. Let's see, what else can we do while we're waiting? La, 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 la. Okay, so I'm second in line there. Diane Van Dusen, math instructor. Visit my website. All right, and actually I need to do a little updating here on the front page. But over on the left-hand side are the links to my classes, and you'll see us over there, Math 232 Statistics Online. So there we are. There's your syllabus, voice threads, videos, and notes. All this stuff on the site. I have a supplementary materials for you guys to help you learn the material, okay? And I plan on adding to this. I've only, have finite amount of time, of course, and I'm just kind of took the most difficult, I feel, concepts and addressed those first. And so I'll be filling in a lot more blanks this semester with voice threads and videos like I'm making for you today, okay? Also, these YouTubes my colleague has come into my classes and actually videotaped my face-to-face classes in session, and has put those up on YouTube. So there's some of our stuff that you can go watch there. Okay. And then let's see what's more. There's this place that will hold your lab assignments, if there's any other assignments, exams or exam keys, and then here's some helpful links, including some really good resources for help. Khan Academy is one of my favorites. Also, you can get from my webpage Back to Course Compass if you'd like. There are PowerPoint lectures by the author of the text, Michael Sullivan. These are also in my math lab, my math lab, my stat lab. I'll show you those later. Khan Academy is wonderful statistics help. This guy is so good. He has all of these, so this is the Khan Academy website. These are all mini lectures that he's created to help students. And look at the topics: arithmetic, civics, art history, blah, 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 biology, calculus. Look at all those little videos. And there's a whole bunch, chemistry. You might want to make note of this for other classes in the future, but there's statistics down here somewhere. Linear algebra, LMNOP, QRST. I really want to show you this because they're so good. So, you know, say you want to listen to him talk about the sample mean versus a population mean. So he originally made these videos to help his younger family members with their math and other topics.
Before at the end of the last video, I actually said that we talk about measures of dispersion or how things are distributed. But before I go that, I realize that I have more to talk about,
logical,
especially the mean.
Very
before
good
I
at
do
explaining
that,
things.
I want to differentiate between a sample and a population. A sample and a population.
Okay, so he talks you through.
I touched on this a little bit
all of these different topics.
Let's say I wanted to know
that have to do with
I don't
statistics.
know. Let's say I want to know the average.
And like like you saw, there's a ton of those available. So please feel free to use that that help. Wolfram Alpha also has some stats help. There's some problems that we'll talk about, some stuff we'll talk about later on in the course. Some other examples that I posted, and here at the bottom of the website, I've made up a bunch of different handouts for topics that are taken care of on with the graphing calculator. I expect you to learn how to use a graphing calculator for this class. So I have these step-by-step handouts all ready for you that you can use, and I include, okay, so you press this and you'll see this, then you press a down arrow or an up arrow to get to blah, 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 blah. And anyway, those are available for you to use during an exam on campus. Okay, they're really the only handouts you can have besides your note sheet. Okay, so that's my website, and again, the easiest way to access it without going through all the ampersands and percent signs and all that stuff is just the Napa Valley College homepage. All right, let's get back to the syllabus. Okay, so this tool that I'm using, it's called Starboard, is something that I've used to make up some of my lectures for you guys, and I'm going to be using it more in the future because it's just hell a lot of fun. All right, one thing that you're going to want to keep track of, very important, is this number, the Van Dusen 14851, because that's what gets you into the online class. Okay, so you need that. Required materials. Okay, let's talk about this. I'm going to go back to camera. Okay, so the required materials for the class. The one thing that you must have for the class is a My Math Lab or My Stat Lab. It's the same thing. It's just, you know, stat book versus algebra book. access code. So these little thin little pieces of cardboard that you can buy in the bookstore, okay, contain the access code that'll get you into the online class, all right? The book is in the online program, so you don't have to purchase the book if you don't want to, all right? Personally, I don't like reading online. It bothers my eyes a lot. So I prefer to have like an actual book. But if you don't, if you don't mind, you don't have to have the book. The book for this class, here's the front of it. It's Fundamentals of Statistics, 3rd edition, and it's the one with the red chucks on the front, the red high tops, okay? If you're using a book just for like a supplementary read, it doesn't really matter which version you have. They're all pretty much the same. Excuse me, I'm running over my microphone cord here. If you just want to read up on like the topics, in general, the older versions of the book will work just fine. Okay, so you do need the access code, which is available a couple different places. We'll talk about that in a minute. You need, the book is optional. If you buy the access code in the library, it'll come shrink wrapped extra with the book for only like $10 more. So if the book is something that you'd really like to have, it's a 3-hole punch or like loose leaf version of the book, then that will be there for you, okay? The other thing you're gonna need to have is a TI 83 or 84 graphing calculator, all right? I know I'm asking a lot of you to learn how to use these things, but you will love it. I don't teach the class with respect to, computation. It's, let me rephrase. My goal in the class is not for you to be able to simplify these gigantic, ridiculous formulas. That's what this thing does for us, okay? My goal for you in the class is for you to get out of the class and understand what a confidence interval tells you, to understand what like a regression model does, to understand a p-value. So when you read an article or journal or some information, you'll understand what it's telling you. Okay. Let's go back to the syllabus. Whoops. Okay. There we go. Okay, so the access code, book is optional, and calculator. Now, if you don't want to buy a calculator, that's okay. You can rent one from the math department for 15 bucks. Go to the circulation desk in the library, the McCarthy Library, and go like you're checking out a book, and you can rent a calculator there, okay? They'll have the forms and the calculators and all that good stuff. All right. So again, there's a couple different ways you can actually get into my math lab, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So the course description and our goals. Since we've added the lab component to this course here at NVC, it's been about 1.5 years ago. You shouldn't have any problem transferring this class anywhere. And if you do, I want to know about it because I will come to battle for you, I swear. We have jumped through hoops to get this class to conform to UC especially, picky, standards. So you shouldn't have any problem with that. So please try to keep a good attitude throughout the class. Keep in mind, you're getting yourself into a lot of work here. It's hard, and it takes a lot of discipline to take an online class, especially if you're new to this. All right? So keep on top of your due dates and things like that. It's all your responsibility. Let me know what I can do to help you, okay? I'm a very user-friendly professor. If there's anything at all I am capable of doing to help you, I will do it. Just be straight with me and keep in touch with me, okay? You got to interact with other students and with me, all right? Questions, comments. We've got a discussion board that we'll talk about, all that stuff. Utilize your materials. okay? All those videos and all the, those learning materials, I've spent a huge amount of time on those, and I will continue to do so that you guys can have a good learning experience. So use those materials. Make sure you complete your assignments, right? I mean, I've had students like fail a class by less points than what it would take to have turned in one more lab. Just didn't turn it in, so what do you do? Make sure you're participating, okay? Keep up on what's going on online. You should be checking in there almost every day. And again, be sure to just, touch base with me, and let's keep tabs on one another, okay? Student learning outcomes are the newest kind of thing that the state is, the hoop from the state that we're having to jump through. And these are the things that you need to demonstrate to be able to successfully complete this course. You've got to be able to calculate, graph, and interpret descriptive stats. You've got to calculate probabilities in a couple different ways using properties of probability and probability distributions. I know that probably all sounds like Greek to you right now, but trust me, you'll get the hang of it. And you're going to need to analyze and interpret data using regression, confidence intervals, and hypothesis tests. So those are your goals to get through the class. If you think that you're getting into an online class that it'll be less work than a face-to-face class, you are incredibly mistaken. Okay, most students find the online format to be a lot more difficult and challenging. You are expected to be self-motivated, to access these materials on your own, to learn this stuff. Excuse me, got to get a drink. All right. Keep up on your homeworks, your labs, your tests, your quizzes, discussion assignments. There's a lot going on. Learn the jargon. 99% of it is going to be brand new. You must learn how to speak statistics. I can't tell you how important that is. Let's see. Now is not the time to learn proficient computer skills. You're expected to know that coming in. Okay, and any computer crash, flash drive mishap, whatever, unfortunately is not going to be an acceptable reason for you to miss your assignments, okay? If I don't see you active in the class for a couple weeks, I'll go ahead and shut down my Math Lab account and drop you from the class, okay? All students should know about the NVC student rights and responsibilities. They're on the website, and they're in the catalog. So you should read through those and know that as a student. Grading. I pretty much just use a straight percentage scale. 90% and above will get you an A, so on and so forth. Your grades will be available at all times in my stat lab, and I'll show you how and where to look for that, okay? And when I say my math lab, my stat lab, again, it's the same thing. If you're working out of an algebra book, it'll be my math lab. If you're working out of a statistics book, it'll be my stat lab, obviously. General assignments, okay. So the homework assignments are in my stat lab. Of course, you complete them online. And homework assignments are due Thursdays at midnight. The first one will be due next week, and we'll talk about what that is going to be. At the end of the semester, I'll drop your lowest homework grade. And homework is about 20% of your grade, so you definitely want to keep up on that. Stat labs are to get you guys proficient at using number crunching software, okay? Keep in mind that this class is kind of an overview. It's kind of all the groundwork for statistics that you need to go on in your field of study. So you'll use specific statistical methods in psychology, biology, nursing, education, engineering, whatever field you go into, you kind of take this groundwork and run with it. You go, into the specific methods that are applicable for that field of study. Okay? 6 50-point assignments. Okay? And they're done using StatCrunch, which is, again, it's also in my stat lab. So you'll be hooked up with everything you need. Okay? 20% of a student's overall grade is labs. So there are, as a schedule of approximate lab due dates. And I put the lab assignments up on my website, not on the My Math Lab website, on the Diane Van Dusen Math 232 online website. Okay? You'll lose 10 points for each day a lab is late. Okay, so make sure that your labs come in on time, which means 11:59 p.m. on the day specified. 1 minute after that is late. Okay, so keep that in mind. You can turn them in one of 3 ways. You can put a hard copy in my mailbox, which is in the 1000 building. You can fax a copy to the secretary, and that fax number is at the top of the syllabus. Or you can email them in PDF format, just save them as a PDF, to this website, or this email address rather, sorry, to that email address, okay? Just lab assignments. The only thing that goes to this email address is lab assignments, nothing else, okay? Nothing else, okay. Don't email your assignments to me, because I will just delete them, okay? I'll also reiterate where the labs need to be turned in on the top of the lab assignments, all right? All your work on a lab, both the StatCrunch stuff and your free responses, for example, I'll ask you to create a bar graph, and after you do that, I'll ask you questions about it. So parts will be from stuff you calculate in StatCrunch. Parts will be stuff that are like free response answers. Okay? They all need to be copied into a Word document or a word processing document, whatever word processor you use. And they're turned in similar to a report. Okay? Not one page, one document. No handwritten work. Okay. And you don't have to embellish these things, all right? I'll let you do the major writing in your English class. Answer the questions, done deal, all right? Don't write, print, give stuff that's not requested or necessary. And I won't give you extra points because it's beautiful, although I'll admire it, okay? No cover sheet, that's not necessary. If you're turning in as a hard copy, you need to put a staple or paper clip on it. You don't have to have your graphs and stuff in color. Don't worry, I'll know if they're correct or not. And no computer issues, flash drive issues are going to justify a late lab. You can collaborate on labs with another student. I totally encourage you to. But every student has to turn in their own unique work, meaning no running off 2 copies of the exact same thing or putting 2 names on the paper and sending it in. No, that doesn't work for me. Your own unique work. Okay, so chat sessions. The chat sessions happen during the weekend. They're 20 points each. Each student needs to post twice per week for full credit. So 20 points, 2 posts will earn you 20 points, 1 post 10 points, no posts 0 points, okay? A lot of students blow off the chats, and I don't know why, because they are so incredibly valuable in terms of learning stuff. The chat forums are under the discussion board in my stat lab. We'll take a look there in a minute. What I do is randomly select 3 or 4 students per week to post the chat materials. I email those students on like Monday or Tuesday and let them know that they've been selected. If you don't get an email from me, you weren't selected, okay? So make sure, oh, this is a big one. Make sure your email addresses in WebAdvisor and my stat lab are current at all times, okay? Because that's my communication with you, okay? So please make sure that you're keeping up on that. I'll give you the topic if you're selected, and so the selected students' postings are due by midnight on Friday, and then the rest of the class comments and post responses through the weekend, and the discussion closes for credit at midnight on Sunday. Okay, you can get the materials anywhere, and you don't have to be the selected student of the week to post something. You find something you like, by all means, post it, and you will get credit for it. The materials can come from just about anywhere. A newspaper ad, a magazine ad, a journal article, but they need to be an application, not just like an explanation of how to create a confidence interval or something. That's what the book is for. That's a resource, not an application, okay? So they're supposed to be statistics that are being used in the real world. That's what I mean by application, okay? So again, other students can post as well. And the quizzes and chats, which will be in one category in your My Math Lab, are 30% of your grade. So please keep up on that stuff. Every week we will have a 20-point quiz, and the quizzes will be timed. They'll be available for 48 hours total from the break of dawn on Friday through midnight on Saturday. And they'll be in my stat lab. I'll show you where they live in there. At the end of the semester, I drop your lowest quiz score. Okay, I don't do makeup quizzes. So just remember that you have a quiz in there. The quizzes and chats, again, 30% of your grade. Whoops. I love this little thing. Look at, isn't that great? So 30% of your grade. So keep that in mind and keep your eye on your score at all times. We'll have 3 100-point exams. One is on chapters 1 through 3, which are your descriptive statistics. One is on chapter 4 by itself, which is kind of a side topic called regression. It's kind of a topic all unto itself. Actually, if you get to higher levels, you'll see where all this stuff comes together more. And then the third exam is chapters 5 through 8, and then the final is all the hypothesis testing, confidence intervals, sample size formulas, and ANOVA. All right. Here's some approximate exam dates, and note that you have 4 to 5 working days to take an exam. Okay. You have to come to the campus for your exams 1 and 3 and the final. If you live far away, you need to find a verifiable proctor at some kind of a school who will administer the exams for you. And you have to make sure that I'm in touch with them and get their information and verify them in plenty of time, so let's say a week before that first test, okay? So get on that if you'd like to take your test somewhere else. Okay, otherwise you come to the Testing and Tutoring Center, which is upstairs in the new McCarthy Library. Okay? And again, you'll have, several days in which to take a test. During a test, you can bring a full sheet of notes, front side, back side, right on the edge if you can fit it there. That's fine with me. Plus your calculator, always. And the calculator handouts specifically from my website. And I'm gonna give samples of those to the staff at the Testing and Tutoring Center, because I just want, there's a lot of materials out there on the web that are available. I want to make sure that everybody gets an even playing field, okay? If you can't make it for a test for any reason at all, you really need to get in touch with me ASAP. Exams, including the final, are about 30% of your grade. Okay? So 30 tests, 30 quizzes and chats, 20 homework, and need lab. Okay? The lab is what earns you that 4th credit, actually, in this class. Learning disabilities. If you have one, let me know ASAP, and we'll get you dialed in. Okay? Some important dates that you might want to write on your calendar. Give those a jot down on your notebook or whatever. And again, if you ever need to come to campus, you want to talk to me, as part of my job, I have to post 5 hours per week of office hours. But in reality, my students are welcome there anytime. If I'm not in class and I'm not running off to a meeting, you are absolutely welcome in my office to talk about statistics or other stuff, any old time you want. So just stop by, okay? Also, the Math Center, there's an instructional assistant there named Ann Cook. She took statistics from me just like a year ago, and is a wonderful help for statistics students if you can't hook up with me for some reason. And then my little disclaimer about, adjusting the syllabus at any time, because I'm sure there's a typo in there somewhere that I just haven't found yet. Okay, so that is the syllabus. And any questions at all that you have, just shoot me an email, okay? No, we'll make that go away. Okay, so now let's talk about my math lab. All right. So to get to my math lab, you're going to want to go www.mymathlab.com. That should be easy enough. Okay. You should get to this homepage. Okay. Now here's an important thing to note. There are 3 different ways to access. Let me think of how I want to put this. There are 3 different modes to get into the online class. Okay? One is if you've used the book before. Okay, so again, if you've attempted this class before and you have this exact book and you've got an access code in my math lab that goes with this exact book, all you have to do is switch sections. You don't have to buy anything new. Okay? Different book, different access code, unfortunately. So if you were, in algebra or a previous edition of the book or whatever, you're going to have to buy a new access code. Sorry. But yeah, if you still have your access code to this book and you couldn't complete the class before for whatever reason, all you have to do is switch sections in my math lab. Okay? Okay, so here we are at the My Math Lab website. As a new student, you'll go into the register part. Go student. This thing's making me double click. It's driving me a little crazy. Okay, so here is what we were talking about on the syllabus, where that course ID number. It's at the top of the syllabus, Van Dusen, D-E-U-S-E-N, and then the 5 numbers that go after that, 14851, 14851. To get into the correct course, then hit continue. Now over on the right-hand side, you should have your course specifically 232 Online Spring 2012. Yes, that's us. Okay, good. That's me, Napa Valley College. Course ends June 2012. Okay, excellent. Now, if you already have a Pearson account that you've used with a different a different book, or same book, and you want to, you want to segue over into this book, go ahead and sign into your Pearson account. Or if you haven't used my math lab before, go ahead and create yourself a new account. Okay? So if this isn't your course too, you can back up and enter another course ID. Okay? All right, so let's go back. Okay, so once you've got your account, so when you sign in, okay, it'll walk you through the steps. You have to set up the account. You have to give it your all your information, your email address. You have to create a username, a password, all that happy stuff. And then it'll ask you what you want to do to get into the class. You can either segue from your old class into the new class, or you can enter your access code that you bought at the college bookstore, or you can buy your access straight from Pearson, and it'll have an option for that. And then it'll ask you for your credit card information, blah, 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 and you go on from there. Also, you can there's an option to get temporary access for 2 weeks if you're kind of broke and are waiting for financial aid to come in or something like that. So all of those options will be available to you when you sign in. I've already created a student account. I came in as Lisbeth Salander. How great is that? You've read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. You know who she is. She's like the most badass chick ever, is who she is. And then I created myself a little password there. And you sign in. Okay, and this is what you should see. So now you're in my math lab. It says, hello, Elizabeth Salander. That's me. I wish. And you should see your course appear in the left-hand corner of the screen. If you click on the actual course name, that'll take you into the class. All right, so here you are. Yippee! All right, so here's our home page. This is the My Stat Lab home, the first button on the left that you see. All these buttons on the left-hand side will navigate you around the site. Okay? So My Stat Lab home brings you back here. In general, I put the announcements under the Announcements button. I just did a welcome on this front page to get you started. This thing kind of keeps track of your scores and your results. It's kind of nice. I don't pay much attention to it, but whatever. The announcements link is where I will give you information. Okay? You can view just the last 30 days, view all, view today, whatever. I have a few posts in there about chats in general. And here's some stuff from the Pearson people, including, okay, this is really important, you guys, the My Stat Lab browser check. Okay? If you're having trouble getting anything to come up in My Stat Lab, it's probably because you don't have the correct downloads in your computer. So do a browser check and allow pop-ups, and you should be just fine. Everything that you need to run this successfully is for free. You need like Flash, you need Java, stuff like that. I mean, nothing new. Okay. That weird noise is my water bottle, just so you're not wondering if there's some like velociraptor in the room or something. Okay, so that's announcements. And again, check the announcements consistently. This is huge because this is where I communicate with you in general. Okay, the homework. I have one homework assignment up. Disable your pop-up blocker. I think that's done. Okay. So I have one homework up. It's the orientation homework, okay? And this is just a little homework assignment to get you used to my math lab if you haven't used it before, okay? Click on a question, any question, actually, and it'll tell you about how you walk through this, how you actually enter answers and how you use this format, okay? Notice down on the lower left-hand side, it'll say 6 parts remaining. So there's 6 parts of this problem yet left remaining. You click continue to see the next step, okay? There's a button down here that's a question mark. It opens up a menu to help you with more information. Okay, so it's telling you more about this particular information. All right, so if you have questions, you can use that. Also, on the right-hand side, you'll see that there is this little menu of buttons for you to get help to certain problems. Okay, let's go on to another problem. If we click continue, type the number 1 in the following box. I can do that. Okay, check this out. You go check answer. It pats you on the back. Don't you love that? I just think it's so amazing. It'll tell you fantastic and stuff like that. So read through this, do the problems. Oh, another thing, up in the right-hand corner of this little screen, you can resize it. So if you're looking at a small screen, click that upper right-hand corner and it'll pop it open, make it a little bit bigger for you. Okay, I still have 2 parts remaining. Okay, so click the little spyglass. It'll pop open a little window that gives you some information. The answer is 9. Okay, I'm done. So I'll put that in the box, 9. Check my answer. Yippee! And then all parts are showing. So then the most important part is you click save, because sometimes it saves, sometimes it doesn't. If you like take off in the middle of a question or something, you can click save and just come back and pick up right where you left off. Also, some students like to print out their homework, take it with them, do it, you know, during their day or whatever, and then come back and enter their answers in my math lab. Well, if you're going to do that, print the problem over on the right-hand side. It's got the print option, but also save it, because if you don't, you're going to come back in. It's going to have generated a different problem. Okay, so the save and is really important if you're using that feature. Okay, so notice up on the upper left now, the number 1 has a little green check mark, which means that we got that problem correct. And you can move through the rest of the problems by just simply clicking on them if you want to go to a different problem instead of the one that you're on. Okay. Number 2 has us choosing a single correct answer from a list of possibles. Okay, we want to choose the smiling face. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, notice we have the little what do you call that? A magnifying glass. So you can pop that open, or if you're really visually challenged, you can make it really big. And that's helpful sometimes with some of the data sets. The numbers can be kind of small. Okay, so you can pop those open, make them bigger. Let's say that we think that that is the smiling face. We check our answer. It says, sorry, that's not correct. And it will explain to you why you messed up. You go, okay. Then you can go back, change your mind. Now check your answer. Excellent. Okay. Okay. Questions like the one above use a circular button for each choice, and you can only choose one answer. Okay, now we're going to save. All right. Okay, so that's how you use the homework. It's pretty, it's pretty point and click, just easy to do. Unless otherwise mentioned, you'll have 4 attempts at each homework problem. 4 attempts, okay? Because if you really don't care about your homework, you can just keep clicking through. The same problem eventually shows back up, and then you can kind of just be a cheese ball and use the answer from way back when. So yeah, I'm gonna actually make sure that you at least attempt your homework. So 4 times max on any problem. So if you've gotten it wrong 3 times, you might want to click the homework. Let's go back there a second. Something I forgot to show you. Like look at question, let's go question 4. No, this isn't a good one. Let me find it. Hang on. Okay, here we go. When you use these buttons on the right, okay, if you click the Help Me Solve This, my math lab will solve the problem that is there at the time. Okay? And then in order to get credit for that problem, you'll have to generate yourself a new problem, and it'll give you an option to do that at the bottom. It'll say similar exercise. See, there you go, similar exercise. Because it just gave me the answer to my question. So I generate a similar exercise, and then I can start over. Okay? So Help Me Solve This walks you through the exact problem. You have to generate a new one afterward. View an example shows you a similar exercise that you can work through, blah, 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 blah. And then you go back and you still have your same original exercise. Okay? So if you've saved all your exercises, that might be beneficial. Animation will bring up some kind of help for you for that problem.
These brief tours tell you how to view questions, enter your answers, and check your answers in the Math Excel Player window.
There's so much different stuff in here, you guys, for you to use to be proficient in this stuff. It's ridiculous. Just, it just takes some time. If you click the Ask My Instructor link, my math lab or my stat lab is going to shoot me an email with the exact problem. When I click on the link, it'll take me right back to this problem, and you write something like, can you help me solve this by calculator? And then and then go send. And I will shoot you back an answer. And if you're having trouble and you're floundering through a problem, I can see what you did and troubleshoot on kind of where you went wrong. Okay, so it's really nice, and don't be afraid to use it. Okay, and again, if you want to print, it's there. All right, so that's homework. I think I've got it all covered now. Leave the page. Okay. Quizzes and tests. So this is where your quizzes will be. The tests, again, will be in the testing center or on my website. And I'll give you that information. So the quizzes will be here. Here, the My Math Lab just puts a bunch of pre and post tests. They're just, really for your studying, your use. They do not affect your grade at all. You can just kind of mess around with them. You might want to go to how to enter your answers before you get started. I'm ready to start. And it'll come up with a chapter 1, like a pre-test. You could actually use it after to decide if you feel like you learned enough in that, of that topic. Okay, so that's the quizzes and tests. So again, they're listed as pre and post tests. My thought is that the probability of having you guys come in and take a test after you've already taken a test on the material is slim to none. So you'll know what that means here in a few weeks. So just use them at your leisure. Okay, gradebook. So in the gradebook, this holds all your scores for the entire semester. You can see here I've been working on the orientation homework. I've got 2 out of 7 correct. That's 28.57 so far. I spent 4 minutes on it. And I had a chapter 1 pretest. It's incomplete. It's you can see it's not darkened, so its score is not going to have an effect on my grade. When I click show overall score, okay, and it'll give you the percentage at the top of the bar. You'll have bars for your homeworks, your quizzes and chats, your labs, and your tests. It'll tell you the number of points you earned and the number available. The purple, so when the bars are purple, it'll tell you that you're above 85%, so you're 85 to 100% of points in that category. Yellow is 70% to 85. This gold is below 70%. So at this point it's okay because I'm still just working on that homework section. So I'm not really concerned that I've got below 70%. But it tells me my overall score in the class is right now 28.6%, which would be a big fat F. But, you know, I've only got 7 points available. I've only worked 2 problems. After I finish that, I'm going to have 100 points or 100%. So, no worries. So again, if you work a problem, you get it incorrect 4 times, you can generate a new problem. Okay, but each individual problem you can only work on 4 times. Okay, I think you can generate a new problem. I'll have to check on that. I'll get back to you on that. So that's gradebook. Notice too when you go into gradebook, you have the show overall score, and it'll single stuff out for you if you want to look at your all your points to date or whatever. So be aware that that's there. Study plan. The study plan is just some supplementary information that you can use to learn the material. Let's say chapter 1 I click on and I want to look more at the design of experiments. So I go in, it'll give me some homework questions to play with. Again, not graded, not part of your grade. You can watch a section video there. And also the cool thing about study plan is that all of the work you do in my math lab, whoops, let me go back to study plan. All the work you do in my math lab records into the study plan. So you can see it's already keeping track of the stuff that I've worked on. And when you come in here, you can just click on show what I need to study, and it'll give you, whoops, let's see, this is where I want to be. It'll give you a sample test for that that stuff that you need to study, and for me that would be everything because I haven't done anything yet. But it looks at like how long it's taking you to work specific homework problems, how many attempts you made at specific homework problems. So you can go in there and get supplementary material and problems to practice on the stuff you're weakest on. Okay, let's see, that was study plan. Ebook. Okay, here's your textbook. Okay, so in ebook, let's look at, say, chapter 3, numerically summarizing data. And we'll look at measures of central tendency, 3.1. In 3.1, you can watch a video presentation of that material. And these presentations are given by Michael Sullivan, who's the author of our book. He has a very similar philosophy on statistics as I do, which is why I use his book.
We're now going to look at another measure of central tendency called the median. The median of a variable is the value that lies in the middle of the data when arranged in ascending order. That is, half the data is below.
So you can use Michael's video lectures to supplement your stuff as well. Whoops, let's see. You've got those available to you, okay? The textbook section. Let's go look at the textbook. The textbook has some cool bells and whistles. So the pages in textbook section and the exercise section are exactly like they are in the regular book, the physical book. Come on. Looks like it's having issues here, huh? Maybe I'll, whoop, try it again. There we go. Sometimes I have to click twice and sometimes not, I don't know. Okay, so this is just exactly like the physical copy of the book. And the ebook has some cool little features. One is there's another link to those video presentations that you just saw. Another thing that they have going for them, let's go to the next page. See, there made me click twice. I don't know, this Mac thing. Okay, let me find one. Okay, so like when it tells us about a problem, and then it shows us an example, then it's got these you try it. And you click that, and it's a problem just like the example you just saw, to ask you, further about that concept and see if you understand it. So it's kind of a neat thing. Lots of stuff in here to help you out, okay? So the ebook, you can blow it up, make it bigger, zoom it if you want. You can flip through the pages, but all good stuff, okay? So that's your ebook. You can actually copy too, but you can only copy one page at a time. They made it so that you couldn't, pilfer the book too easily. The exercise set is available there and the whole 9 yards. All right, so that's your ebook. StatCrunch, the next button to the left, is your data processing tool for your labs. You can also use StatCrunch to work some of your homework problems. Let's get that opened up. Looks like it's, try that again. So StatCrunch its format is kind of like an Excel spreadsheet. It's very easy. It's point and click. Your labs are step-by-step instructions. It shouldn't be too taxing. And the labs, I think, will give you will be one of your better tools at learning the material because they're more in my voice. Okay, come on. Looks like this thing's having issues today. We can bring up StatCrunch from somewhere else. So maybe we'll try that. So in your machine, you should be fine using StatCrunch. Let's see. It's also under Multimedia Library. If you go down to Multimedia Library and click. Making me double click. Maybe it's making me get out of there first. Oh, well, there we go. Maybe that's my problem, huh? Get out of here first. Okay, now I'll go to StatCrunch. Let's see if it'll load. Ah, technology, right? You can't live with it and can't live without it. Oh, there we go. Now it's happy. When you get into StatCrunch, if you didn't download Java, if you don't have Java, you're just going to see a gray screen here. You're not going to see this spreadsheet format. Okay, so it works just like you know, just like Excel. I mean, you can type numbers into the spreadsheet. Why is it not letting me type numbers into the spreadsheet? Etc. You can go on the left. It has all the data from the textbook. Okay, so I might ask you, click on the chapter menu data sets, chapter 4, and then go to 4.1.33. And it'll go ahead and load that data for you. So there's that data. And then I'll tell you about in the lab assignment what that data means and what we're going to do with it and blah, 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 blah. Okay? To get into a different chapter, just go up to the top, return to chapter menu. But a lot of the data we use is in this blue menu on the left of StatCrunch. Okay? So that is StatCrunch. And if it's giving you any trouble at all, please just, it's a little quirky. Let me know. Okay, StatCrunch, tools for success. Okay, where am I now? I am in, I'm in the ebook still. Okay, so let's go tools for success. Okay, in the tools for success, there's the student solution manual for the exercises, just in case you want it, if you've got a book. Technology manuals. These are actually kind of nice. There's a TI 8384 manual here that shows you how to generate data, how to do different stuff. There's a whole bunch of these tutorials in here. So please remember that they're there and use them. So those are available for you. What else is in Tools for Success? Let's see. Technology manuals. I think the graphing calculator thing is also in there. Most of the stuff shows up in here at least a couple times at one spot or another within StatCrunch. Graphing calculator resources. There's some more. Quick reference guide. Select a calculator menu. So you've got a TI-83. Look at all this. How to do a best fit linear equation. Basic calculations. Awesome. Look at all that. All there to help you. Okay? All right. You can go to StatCrunch from in here. Technology study cards. There you go. Also helps you with StatCrunch and etc. All right. So that is the Tools for Success. All that different stuff in there. Let's see what else do we have. Oh, this is kind of a cool thing. The author of the book, Michael Sullivan, has created these Camtasia videos. So you can download them on your iPod or your iPhone or your iPad and carry them around with you and get the information that way. So that's pretty cool. Listen to them while you're on the bus going home or something like that. There's a formula card. Probably won't need that. Data sets. Yeah, that's kind of it. Just, start clicking around in here and look for stuff. The multimedia library. Oh, the multimedia library's got, so you can get to StatCrunch from here. You can get to your book, multimedia textbook. There's a PowerPoint for the book that you can watch. Those video lectures are in here. And there's this under other extras, there's cool little applets. They're little fun things. Look at this. I might see how I can get this in a homework assignment or like an activity for you guys. We will learn that if data is about symmetrically distributed, then the mean and the median are just about exactly the same number. They're the same to one decimal place, right? And that is what we would call a symmetric distribution. But if the distribution is skewed, meaning you have a whole bunch of data on one side of the distribution and just a little bit on the other side, the mean and the median are further apart. And the more skewed the data is, the further apart the mean and the median are. So, yippee! So it's kind of a fun little thing. Anyway, nothing but fun stuff in here. Okay, multimedia library, looked at that. Okay, Pearson Tutor Center. You get a half an hour of free tutoring with the Pearson Tutor Center. So you might want to sign up for that. Discussion board. Okay, so here's where we have our chats. Okay, week 1, here we go. Hello and welcome. Let's get acquainted and comfortable with the discussion board. One of my favorite topics, food. Oh my God, I just finished my burrito from last night from Taqueria Maria on 3rd Street. Oh my God, I love that place so much. So I might say, food. Okay, add a new thread. And I might put in burrito. And then in my message, I might put just finished last night's burrito from Taqueria Maria on 3rd Street. Yummy. I love that place, love their stuff. Okay, so, and I might submit that. Now you guys can go back in there and read it. I hope I'm not, you know, like going to get in trouble for using Elizabeth Salander's name. So you can go in there and read my post. Oh, hang on. Just finished there. You might reply to my thread. I love that place too, or I prefer blah, 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 blah. Have you tried that? Or you could add a new thread and you could go, Thai. And then you could go, have you been to Mini Mango on Pearl Street? Best red curry ever. Submit. So that's how the discussion board works. Okay, you can respond to someone else's thread. You can make your new thread. Okay, and again, 2 of those posts per week. So this week is just this fun food discussion. Shouldn't be too taxing. Okay, on the discussion board, I will always have these posts up. One is if you have any homework or lab questions. There's a, what do I want to say? I'm starting to get tired, sorry. A discussion board for your homework or lab assignment. Excuse me. Also, if you do have some resources to share, and this is supplementary material on explaining a topic or whatever, then go ahead and post that in the resources to share post. Okay? And then you can also get to my website from my math lab and vice versa. So I think we've pretty much covered everything. Let's see. couple of things that maybe I forgot to mention are that how to study, okay? Make sure that you're studying the vocab, okay? That's so important. You've got to know the language of the subject, all right? And I want you to understand the concepts. If you can calculate a median, I'm really happy for you. But that's not going to get you where I want you to be, where you need to be. Can you compare it to a mean? Do you understand what it measures? Do you understand what it means? Okay? And statistics is different from other mathematical topics in that everyone learns it, and every instructor expects something a little bit different from the course. Randy Villa, my colleague, and I have the exact same bachelor's and master's degrees. But my class is just completely different from his because of our experience, and that's just, it's really a common thing in statistics. So you need to remember too that you're looking for how I want you to think about a certain topic or a certain concept and my slant on it. That's what you need to study, and that's what you'll be getting through my presentations that I make for you. Okay, mymathlab.com. Okay, so you can buy the access code on the MyMathLab site. We talked about that. They take credit card, debit card, or PayPal account. Online is a few bucks cheaper than in the bookstore. I think you'll save on the tax. I don't think they charge you tax, so that'll be just a little bit cheaper. And there is a place in there to get a temporary account. Oh, this is important. If you do sign up for a temporary account, in 14 days, you're just going to go to sign on, and it's not going to let you sign on anymore. That's when you need to make your account permanent. Do not create a new account, okay? You want to take your existing account and turn it into a permanent account, but you do not want 2 accounts. 2 accounts means a nightmare of bookkeeping for me, okay? And your grades and all that stuff won't be accurate. Keep current email addresses. We talked about that. Oh, for those of you on the wait list, you're automatically added. I already sent your names and ID numbers to admissions. Just be looking for information on having to pay your fees, okay? And this is an interesting piece of information I just learned yesterday at my division meeting. As you know, or you may not know, community college classes are highly subsidized by the state, which means that the taxpayers of California are primarily paying for you to take this class, okay? What they're doing now is you can only take a class 3 times and earn a W, a D, or an F, and they're not going to let you take that class again for 2 years. So you get a W, a D, or an F 3 times in a class, you can't take it again for 2 years. Because they're saying, well, we'll give you 3 chances, like kind of a 3 strikes thing. Ouch, huh? But, that's what they're doing. So I guess the chancellor's office is saying, well, either make sure that you're here to learn and to do it, else, unfortunately, you're not going to be allowed to take the course again. So be serious about the course, okay? So I wanted to tell you about that. Waitlist will be added, the temporary accounts. Yeah, I think we're done. So any other questions, please just feel free to email me or call me. And if I can think of anything else that I forgot, I'll put it on the announcements page or I'll email you. So I look forward to meeting you and working with you and communicating with you, getting to know you. One of you already stopped by my office. That was great. come by and see me when you're on campus and just say hi. So I'll see you soon. All right.